Alrighty, so as you guys know from today's patch note, they have confirmed that we are going to be getting our first ever step up feature in the game, where essentially you do a certain amount of steps and it's going to be discounted as well, right? But when you reach a final step, you get a reward, and in Nikke's case, it's a guaranteed SSR of your choice, not randomized, of your choice. So I wanted to help you guys understand who to pick and why to pick these characters. I actually did spend time making a graphic, so if you guys want to use this graphic, let me just remove my webcam, take a screenshot if you need to. Alrighty, so you take a screenshot, do whatever you need to do with that graphic, post it if you need to. But I made a graphic of the best picks for the GSSR and why, and I'm gonna try to break it down, right? At the end of the day, I want to disclaim this first. You can pick whoever you need. Pick whoever you want, pick whoever you like, pick whoever you need. If you have all these characters, if you just want to pick whoever you like, by all means do it. At the end of the day, it's your choice. It's your choice on who you pick, right? But you can only do this once. Now, for the people who actually care about meta and stuff like that, I feel like these characters right here are going to be one of your best picks, and I'm going to explain it now. So obviously, let's start off with number one, which is Litter. Litter is obviously top 5 in the game, right? One of the best support in the game, actually, right? She is the best supporter character in the game, and the fact that she's not a pilgrim is actually a W for us because we're able to pick her. Now, the thing is, if you have these characters, I would recommend, unless they need dupes, and I'm going to tell you if they need dupes or they don't need dupes, I would recommend not to pick them if you already own them. It's just common sense. Litter, she's a character who is based off her skills. Her entire existence, her entire relevancy are based on nothing but her skills. So if you own Litter, do not pick her. It doesn't make sense for you to get one extra star because it's not going to change her performance. A core 7 Litter and a 0 core, not even any duped up Litter, is doing the same performance in terms of their skills. So don't waste it on Litter if you already own her. But if you don't own her, you must get her. That's the easiest pick of your life. Now, when it comes to 2 and 3, which is Blanc and Noir, this is you pick one of the two, right? You pick one of the two. Now, honestly, I probably should have switched it. If you want me to be honest, I would recommend to pick Noir over Blanc, only because Blanc literally doesn't work unless you have Noir. Noir still works if you don't have Blanc. She's still very good with other team comps that do not include Blanc in terms of like shotgun meta or just max ammo capacity reload meta, right? Noir is a better pick than Blanc. So I would recommend, if you don't have any of the two and you're trying to pick one of the two, Noir over Blanc. That's just my personal opinion. But if you don't have, one over the other, then pick that one, of course, right? Blanc and Noir are also best characters in the game, right? I actually combined them as one single character to be the best character in the game. But if you don't have, I'm gonna tell you like this. If you have Noir and you do not have Blanc, I would recommend to get Blanc over everybody that you see here. Right? If you have Noir and you don't have Blanc, recommend to get Blanc over everybody. If you have Blanc and you don't have Noir, recommend to get Noir over everybody. Because at the end of the day, I feel like the bunny girls, which is Blanc and Noir together, are better than everybody you see on this list. Right? And the same thing also goes for Naga and Tia. If you own Tia but not Naga, go for Naga. If you own Tia, or if you own Naga and not Tia, go for Tia. It's from 2 to 5. They're the exact same situation, right? Naga and Tia need to be together, Blanc and Noir need to be together. So if you're missing the pair, get the pair, right? Senti, I feel like Senti has kind of fallen off a bit. Not necessarily fallen off, just not used as much. That's really it. She's just not used as much. She hasn't really fallen off, but she's still a great pick when it comes to her shields and stuff like that. So if you do need that type of sustain, Senti's gonna be very good, right? Mind you, the shield is like very, very good, and she's the only one who can really spam it like that, so it's probably in your best interest to pick her. I have Alice at number 7 because Alice is actually, again, one of the best DPS in the game, but only if she's invested. I hate when people say Alice, 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 and forget to include the most important thing. You need to sell your soul for her to work, really, right? If you do not own Alice, I'm not gonna say it's not a good opportunity for you to get her, because it definitely is, but mind you, you're probably not gonna have her full investment ready, right? You're not gonna be able to fully invest into her because you're probably not gonna have the materials for her, and then Scarlet, and then Modernia if you don't own Modernia as well, right? Mind you, Scarlet and Modernia's banner are also coming out, so if you do need a good DPS, Modernia is the second best character in the game. You probably pick her over Alice regardless, right? And then Alice is probably, or Scarlet's probably going to be a very good DPS as well, so you probably want to pick her over Alice, right? But yeah, Alice is still a very good character at the end of the day if you do have the investments, right? I kind of try to pick characters that are like mainly used in all content, right? Yeah, I could have slapped somebody like D in here because let's say you're struggling with the Modernia SI boss. D is a perfect pick for you because she's literally meant to clear that boss, right? Or help you clear that boss. But because she's only used for that one specific content, she's not on the list. Maxwell, very, very good when it comes to doing damage herself and then also supporting your damage dealers, right? It's really as simple as that, right? She's more used with charge characters, but her attack buff that she gives when you enter a full burst is very, very big. And then herself gives herself massive, I believe it's charge damage. Let me just double check and confirm. Nope, it's charge speed, not charge damage. She gives herself charge speed, or not herself, but 2 allies with the highest attack charge speed and a massive attack buff when you enter a full burst. That's going to be good for herself when you use her burst skill because she does hit hard, right? So Maxwell is definitely a pick you want to pick if you don't have obviously the previous characters. Rupee is a great character overall, fantastic burst 2 support. She is a good DPS for a burst 2, right? And then she also can support by giving an attack buff when she's fully stacked up on her own stackable attack buff to the entire team, right? So she gives herself an attack buff that stacks, and when that's fully stacked, when you use her burst skill, she'll give all allies on your team an attack buff. Not to mention, if you're running her with other iron code allies, she can actually help them get their stacks up for any stackable buff that they may have, right? So Rupee is good in that case. Noise is very, very good as well. I feel like Noise is a character that you probably want to shy away from, only because let's say you're brand new, right? You're not gonna pick Noise obviously over Litter, that's just obvious, but Noise is still a very good character, right? She's a fantastic taunt healer, right? Very good personal sustain, right? She taunts, increases her max HP, and she does heal when you use her burst skill, but she's a fantastic self-sustain. Actually, I would recommend to get her if you're going to do PvP. In general content, I don't think you're really going to use her, but when it comes to solo raid and union raid, she's definitely a staple on one of those teams. So Noise is definitely like a character you probably want to get if you need her for those reasons. Dala is a character that absolutely nobody talks about anymore, but it doesn't change the fact that she's still one of the best burst 2 units in the game. She is a character who can actually provide you an attack buff very consistently. It's on and off, yes, it's every 5 seconds though. So for 5 seconds you have an attack buff, then for 5 seconds you don't have an attack buff. For 5 seconds you have an attack buff, for 5 seconds you don't have an attack buff. And it's a very, very like on and off. She also does have cooldown reduction. A lot of the characters have cooldown reduction. I didn't even talk about it. Litter has cooldown reduction. I think that's it so far that I see here, right? But Litter has cooldown reduction as well. Dala has cooldown reduction. The next character, which is Volume, she's mainly meant for the crit team, which I feel like has been getting a lot more popular. She also has cooldown reduction to all allies, but you're mainly getting her for her crit rate buff that she gives when you use her burst 1, right? I feel like Drake is still the perfect sub DPS character in the game, right? She's obviously been surpassed by so many characters, but she's still a very good burst 3 flex option character in terms of supporting and dealing damage. She doesn't do insane damage like Alice or even like Maxwell, but she does do good damage, right? It's nothing too crazy, but it's like pretty decent, right? So perfect flex burst 3 unit. And then Mask, again, also with the crit damage team, I would highly recommend to pick Mask because she is essentially a staple on the crit damage team, right? She's actually very, very good when it comes to that because she gives, for the first 30 seconds of a match, she'll give 2 allies with the highest attack a crit rate buff. It's only 30 seconds, but when you enter a full burst, she gives them a massive crit damage buff, which is quite crazy. So yeah, if you are going to get masked, hopefully you have volume, because masked and volume together is a scary combo, right? So these are in the orders I would recommend to pick them, right? Again, I would highly recommend if you have one of the bunny girls and you're missing the other one, pick the other one over everybody else here. If you have one of the schoolgirls and you're missing the other one, pick the other one over everybody else here. But overall, this is probably the order I would go with. Alice probably a bit higher for me, just because again, you do still need to invest into her, but it doesn't change the fact that this is like, she's a great character. So yeah. So overall, this is what I agree, what I think is the best picks. You guys let me know what you think. Again, if you need a screenshot, let me remove my webcam so you guys can screenshot. And yeah, let me know if you agree with or disagree with my takes. You don't really need to agree or disagree, because at the end of the day, you still it's your picks, right? Again, like I said in the beginning, it's up to you. I shouldn't have to decide who you guys pick. I'm just trying to guide you guys in who are the better options, like the better options to pick, but I'm not going to tell you who to pick, right? So you guys let me know what you think. It's your boy Zxous, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.